Congratulations to you two, Carina and Deonte. I'm happy for you. I'm grateful for you, and I appreciate everything that you represent so much. The love and the respect and the honor that you have for one another, that you showed over the years, not just by your words, but also by your actions. Carina, I appreciate you so much. The level of friendships that you're able to acquire. I don't think it's possible that you've ever met a stranger, like at all. But in the spirit of that, I got a few things that I need to say about Deonte. So,
Hello and welcome to episode 66. We are back of the Duo Sports and Stuff podcast. My name is Deonte Epps, joined by my co-host, my ace, my best friend, my best man, Dane Beasley. Dane, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing. Deonte, you got this glow about you. If I didn't know any better, I'd say something beautiful happened over the weekend. I mean, I'm just guessing. Oh, what a nice, lovely ring you got there.
Thank you. We
Well,
took what? How long were we not potting? 3 weeks? About 2.5.
Long enough for us to not have to talk about the Cowboys game.
Oh yeah, we went to that. We'll talk about that later. But let's introduce
Not this podcast,
lovely, our lovely guest that we have. And like Dane mentioned at the top of the pod, I did get married over the weekend. We did get married. I did it again, didn't I? My wife is here joined by my wife, Carina Epps. Why Epps? Carina, I messed up again, didn't I? Go ahead.
Rude. Very rude. It's always him.
It's me,
There's no we.
I messed up.
Whatever.
Dane, since I messed up on my end, let's see if you can get it on your end. Who else we got here?
Bet. So sitting to my right, I'm sitting to your left. This is the one and only, not going to use her government name. This is the Neicy Beasley, a.k.a. Mommy. But Neicy, say hello to the viewers, listeners. They can't see you waving, but you wave anyways.
I didn't wave. Hi.
Okay.
Yes, we are joined by our lovely wives on episode 66 of the Duo Sports and Stuff podcast. I asked Carina like maybe an hour and a half ago if she wanted to be on the Duo. What was your response?
By an hour and a half, he means 30 minutes
No,
ago.
it was an hour. You weren't even here yet.
Literally half of an hour he asked me to be here, which I'm here, but we're the lesser known duo.
Yeah.
So I figured, Dane, since episode 3, we talked about marriage math. Yeah. And that was the episode where I messed up the first time, where I told the world I was engaged or I was getting married. And then Carina made her argument, and we brought her on for episode 11, I believe, which was right around when the quarantine was starting.
I love the eye contact, by the way. Like you're like you're declaring. You're like
she's not even looking at me; she's looking at the camera.
Stoic. I love it.
I definitely figured since we took the hiatus due to our lovely celebration with our friends and family, that it'd only be right to bring our lovely wives on to make this a duo on duo. What do you call it? What's the for? Quad? What is it? Trio. What's the for?
No. All right, I got you.
Like
you,
duo,
Deonte.
trio.
What about the duo and you put an S at the end? The duos.
The duos.
The duos.
No response.
The
quads?
Quartet?
Is it quads?
It's quad.
It's quads?
The quad
means
I was thinking of what's the fifth one? Is it Cinquet? How you say it?
I have no idea.
Quartet. No. Oh, God. I don't know.
So we have our lovely wives here, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to have them on to talk about everything from, of course, we had our wedding, but just life in general and whatever they wanted to talk about. That's what Carina had asked me in general, what we're going to talk about. We had our whole list of notes that we usually do, and I was just like, yeah, let's slide that for episode 66
Ball it up.
And let the ladies kind of talk whatever they want to talk about. How about our lovely wedding that we had on Saturday?
Yes, let's go on. Let's dig
That's
into that. Let's dig into that. So
you
too.
Question?
Yeah. Well, what are your feelings?
You have to interview us.
Okay. Let's make it.
I got you, Deonte. Let me.
All right,
I'm
go ahead,
gonna get both of y'all because both of y'all were like getting married. So me send a question to two of you, to the duo over there. So now that everything is partially over, I mean, you still have the rest of eternity to spend with one another, but everything in terms of
marriage is over.
Now that the ceremony and the planning, the jitters, the stress, all that is over with now, it's all behind you. What are you most satisfied and happy with that you've accomplished during that amazing, amazing, amazing ceremony? Like, what is the thing that you look forward to remembering the most? Like, you know what? That was really good. I'm really proud of us. Pat myself on the back. What is that? We'll take it to the missus first, or to the mister, whichever y'all want.
First, for sure.
I'll let Deonte go first, actually. Let's hear what he has to say.
Let's see if you were listening to the question, Deonte.
I was listening.
You passed the first test.
The thing I'm looking forward to the most.
That's not what he has.
Yes, he did. Did he not say looking forward?
I got you. Let me run it back.
It was a 2-part. No, it was a 2-part question.
It was a 2-part question.
So the question was, the first part, it changed toward the end. So in all fairness, it did change toward the end. The first part was about what you were most satisfied with. And then the second part was, what are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, it was a 2-part question.
Thank you.
2 for duo.
To answer the first part of the question, just having our family and friends together, obviously with everything that's going on over the past year and a half or so with COVID, not being together, having that many people that we love and enjoy our company, and likewise or vice versa with them, having them together during this moment, the whole weekend in general was beyond special. Seeing faces of friends that haven't seen in years and family of that nature and stuff was amazing to see. And like I told Carina even yesterday when I had to go back to work, was like it was like a dream sequence, like everybody that we love and enjoy so much there for us to enjoy or support and show love for us for everything that we have been through, but also sharing that special moment with us was like a million times over. And like I I'm about to go on a little tangent here. I texted Carina again today one of our pictures from the wedding while we were dancing, and it was like at that particular moment when we had our first dance, it was like a moment in time, like they do in all those movies where time stopped, everything,
and they get the score in the background.
It was, I cried like 8 times on Saturday, and I even
9. 8 would be an understatement. I would say.
I mean, you see who I get it from. Like my mom is a crier.
Nah,
I made my brothers cry.
Don't try to blame.
Oh, I'm gonna shift the blame a little bit, But yeah, man, just that, those little moments like that are something that I'll never forget, and having everybody there that we love and enjoy so much is something I can never and will never forget. And then something to look forward to, part 2. I did remember the second part of the question. Part 2 is kind of looking forward to our lives together. I know we have stuff that we want to do as far as traveling and enjoying each other's company and our 4 pets that we have here at the house, but just being able to kind of be on not like a free journey, but just like kind of figuring out what we want to do career wise and figuring out where we want to be full time. If it's here in Waco, if it's in Dallas, if it's somewhere else in the US, just figuring that out, but at our own pace, but also figuring out together as a couple, husband and wife kind of thing. So I'm excited for it though. It's like as a duo, exactly, Dane. Thank you. Kind of figuring out what what that is, but having someone there that has your back 100%, your support and love 100%, and I think I would put a bow on that answer like that.
Oh,
what about you, Mrs. Epps? Yep. She's trying to change the name to Yepps, y'all. That's not happening.
I don't see why not. Let's think. Well, I have been planning this wedding for 2.5 years. So I'm really looking forward to not being in the middle of planning this wedding. I think the best thing and our best move, and this is something that we very early on knew we wanted to do, was have a whole weekend. We didn't want just the ceremony, reception, and leave. We wanted to find a place where we could all stay, and it would be like a family reunion, and it would be a summer camp feel, because it was supposed to be like early summer 2020, and we wanted just a whole weekend experience because weddings are expensive. And I was like, it doesn't make any sense for us to pay that much money for 10 to 12 hours. Like, let's just make it a whole thing. We got super lucky that there was a place here, shout out Gathering Oaks, that had space for like 50 plus people to stay, and we could book it for multiple days. So we ended up booking more days. So I think that, like, looking back, like, that was our best move. Besides the glowing cowboy hats, that was the best thing that we could have done, because we didn't know back then what would have happened, in 2020, and that we'd be separated from these people for so long. I mean, with the exception of our parents and siblings, even then, I mean, we haven't seen them very much, but we hadn't seen any of our family. So it has been, I think that's what I'll reflect upon the most, of like, it wasn't just our wedding. Like, we've been married a year now, but the wedding itself was really special on its own. But I think the best move we made was to make it a whole weekend thing. Second to that, I will say, was being able to say our vows. For me, the first time, we eloped on Halloween last year. I told Deonte, let's keep this very basic. It was like pre-vaccine, middle of COVID. We like tested everybody. We wanted it to be just like a very quick in and out, COVID elopement, basically. Like, we were just wanting to keep it very basic. And so I told him, I said, let's not write our own vows. We still want the next one to be special, which of course they would be special, but I am very weird. And I really felt like I really want it to all build up to the big wedding, because otherwise you kind of get stuck in this rut of like, why are we still doing this? We're already married. Why are we going to spend all this money and take all this time and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I told Deonte, I said, we're not going to write our own vows. We're going to Google a template. His dad married us with an online ordination.
And he was happy
he was so happy. I mean, geez.
His name is forever on that document.
Yes, he signed our marriage license, but we wanted to keep it very just clinical. Well, we get up to get married, say our vows with Pastor Dad, and Deonte goes, well, I wrote my own vows. After I explicitly told him, let us not write our own vows. So I'm really good at BSing. But when you're up there with all these people you haven't seen in literally a year staring at you, you can't really come up with vows on the spot. And Deonte reads these like sweet, adorable, heartfelt vows. And his dad looks at me and he goes, okay, what do you have? And I'm like, like, he was supposed to feed me the vows, like line by line, as they do. And Deonte comes out with a freaking love song to me. And I just stand there and I was like, thanks. It was so awkward. I was like, why would you do that? That was so rude. Anyway, so I was really looking forward to redeeming myself at this one. So I really do feel really glad that we got to redo them. I got a second chance. And yeah, I think that was a big piece of it, being able to say all of those things in front of all of these people that we love very much. Looking forward, similar to what Deonte has to say, I am very excited about the future. I love to not make plans. So obviously being done planning a wedding allows us to just kind of go with the flow for the rest of our lives. And yeah, I'm excited to see what we do. I'm excited to go on a honeymoon. That's for one.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm very excited to just make big life decisions, and we get to map out, our future.
Yeah. I got a question for the married veterans on the other side of the camera over there.
Veterans.
Dane and Neicy have been married. It's about to be 6 years in December, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just about.
So, a little bit.
No, you're right.
Question. So, Karina and I, we've been married a year now. You guys are going on 6. I mean, you're young vets in the game. I guess I could say, if I could use my bringing sports into it, right? Little vets in the game.
Okay.
What kind of, I guess, advice or what can you see as experience before you got married that you could say, hey, I didn't know this before. Maybe I can talk about this down the road, like something like you before you got married, you could tell yourself this is what you're gonna expect, things that you didn't know going into a marriage. I know that's kind of, I went deep.
No,
deep
you
in
good.
real quick.
That was a good question.
Yeah,
so good, so good of a question. I'm gonna let you go first.
Well, one thing I've just been learning recently is that it's not my role to change Dane. And that's very hard as women. I think we see so much potential sometimes in our significant others and what we hope for them to be or desire them to be, that we push them before they're ready. So we cannot be our husband's Holy Spirits. Guys, please listen, okay? We cannot be our husband's Holy Spirit. There have been plenty of times that I've wanted to complain about something or address an issue, and it might be a valid issue, but I had to choose to take it to the Lord before I brought it to Him. And I didn't always do that. I still don't always do that. I'm not saying it because I do it right. I'm just saying from experience, there have been more times that Dane has been exactly who I needed him to be without me directly telling him. I just told it to the Lord. So, ladies, Karina, if you got a problem with your husband, tell on him to Jesus and then let Jesus do the rest.
She usually just smacks me aside.
So don't wake him up out of a dead sleep and yell at him.
God, no, please don't do that. I mean, you can, but whatever consequences come after that, that's what you got to be ready for.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll consider it.
I'm
not very patient.
I'm not either, and I don't think that I think that a lot of us are, like, especially if you're very driven and you know what you want and you kind of just go after what you want. It's very hard to be patient, but I think that that's probably why God may have given you a spouse that is more patient than you are, because he knew that needed to be balanced out. So I'm pretty sure the areas that you're weak in, he's strong in, and vice versa. And so we definitely have to.
That does make sense.
Yeah, we definitely have to ride that out. I mean, that's what he's there for. He's your mirror. So if there's anything that he's telling you about yourself and you don't like what you're hearing, it's probably true. I hate to say it, but it probably is true. But it's just about, one, it's always about how things are communicated. Everything should be communicated in love at the end of the day. But ultimately, if you're not liking what you're hearing, then you also have to make a decision. Okay, well, can I take what my spouse said to me and work to change that? And I think that's, as long as there's a desire to be better, not only for your spouse, but for yourself and for your future kids, because they're going to see how you guys talk and communicate with each other, how y'all act, how y'all solve conflicts. And that's what they're going to take with them when they grow up. So it all serves a purpose at the end of the day.
I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that. Super saved, extra Christian, great. Oh, I'm about to get first in line in that pearly gates response, so I got to follow that.
I'm just being honest.
No, I feel you. I respect. Dang, I don't know how to follow that.
That's new advice, though. I feel like you never were told that. Like, that's good. That's
solid. Okay, so boom.
Now you're on the spot, Dane, just like
for real deal.
And we will talk about
Dane's going to say, let your husband play video games.
Here's the thing.
Let your wives take over the duo.
Here's the thing. I mean, it's not a bad idea. We could talk about the contract and stipulations. Have our people talk to your people when we get that taken care of. But
what are you talking
one thing
about? We're your managers.
Basically,
we're all here.
Facts. While I have you all in the room, yeah, it's true. To answer your question, geez, you know what? I got the perfect response.
Say it.
He pulls out his phone.
Sarah.
No, I knew this question was going to come up.
Integrity. That's from Dane's best man speech for everyone.
I wish we could roll the tapes.
I need that.
I need to. Oh my gosh. I'll be sitting here crying again.
If you're listening, send it.
I did record.
Oh, you did?
Actually. I did.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I need to watch.
We'll add that in the post edit.
Oh my god.
Oh, I remember the first. Integrity.
I feel like I jumped. I was like, oh my god.
Everybody was like, oh.
Everyone reacted. Everyone was like, oh.
Everybody,
I think you actually could hear it.
Yes.
They did.
Oh. All right, Dane,
what you doing? No, you're bringing memories back. I'm like, damn, it felt like it happened like 2 hours ago, but now you make me relive it all again. Okay, so boom, marriage, successful marriage, for me at least in my eyes, it starts with two things. One being a comforter for her, and the other being a comforter for me. So. I'm look. It's gonna make a lot of sense. I got you. So boom.
All right.
You have two people, maybe a full size queen king bed, and you're sharing the bed at nighttime. One cover might not be enough. It might get cold. One person might be like, I'm gonna snatch the cover to this side. The other person's gonna be like, I'm gonna snatch the cover to this side. Bam. You want to be proactive instead of reactive in your marriage? Get two comforters instead of one. Because
so you don't rip it off of him and slap him awake while he's asleep and say, "Give me the covers."
I do distinctly remember just being all on your side of the bed.
We have a California king, okay, a California king bed. I am a very small person. I take up 1 square inch of this bed. Deonte, right here, and then, but not just here. So, I mean, this is great advice, Dane. We could use this today. Because he wraps himself in a burrito.
I do.
He tuck and rolls in. He's a taquito. And then he's on my side of the bed. So not only do I have no access to any covers, but he's in my face. And I'm like, specifically last night, babe, move over. He's like, okay. 1 inch.
You actually asked nicely too.
He's like, please.
He's like, can you
move? Can you move? But he doesn't wake up. It's like waking the dead. I'm like, hey, can you move? It gets to that volume. So Dane, I approve of this message.
That brings me to my next point of that advice. So with it being two comforters, two of y'all, you have the ability to sleep successful, as I might say. You might sleep on a mission. And the truth to that is serves three purposes. One, I don't like giving people marriage advice because not all marriage advice is good advice, even if it comes from me.
You said that on episode 3, Marriage Math, I remember.
Yeah.
The one where you didn't mention either of us?
Yeah. I mean, that one.
Yeah. Damn, I did not mean to bring that back up. Open wound. We'll talk about that later. 2, it serves as a point of, it's a good way to remember that your marriage could be rooted in humor. It's a good way humor makes the world go round. Honestly, we live in a day and age. We're still in the pandemic. And if there's anything that's gotten us through it, it's just the beauty of a good laugh. Ha ha, ha, ha. So that serves that purpose. 3, everything else you have, Deonte, everything you have belongs to Carina, with the exception of that blanket. So this is just one little small piece of thing that's actually yours. Everything else is not. You share every single thing with your wife, and your wife will, at her discretion, because she is a woman, she shares. She don't have to share everything with you, but the option's there.
The shade.
It's just the way it is. I don't write the rules; I just follow them. But leading me to my 4th point that I didn't mention originally, we sleep for practically, I think, a third, maybe a fourth to a third of our lives, and if we're going to be successful with our partners, the best thing we can do, even if we're going to be miserable for the rest of our lives, the best thing you can do is at least get a good night's rest. Good night's rest with your own comforter is pretty decent way to go. But yeah, that was it. No climax to the whole wrapping it on the bow. Just bam,
I
there it
love
is.
to sleep
On a daily. At
constantly.
any moment,
At
you
any
can fall
moment,
asleep.
anytime, I can fall asleep.
Dane, there once again your words like see and a lot of people ask me about what you said on Saturday. I feel like you were one of the highlights of Saturday. And um truly, you know how I feel about you as a brother, as a best friend. And again, I'm not gonna cry, but
If you good, you got the space, man. Do your thing.
I'm not gonna cry, but it was truly, man, one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard in my life. And to truly hear that, I mean, I always know you felt that way, and we often, like, we've talked a lot about stuff that we both went through in our lives. And um but it's like, dang, to actually feel it like at that moment, at that peak, it was just like truly something that I like. It was a crazy feeling. But also, how we get down, how we are. And
Yeah.
so again, I'm saying thank you for that. And Neicy, of course, thank you for holding my brother down. For how long have y'all been together? Since what?
10 years.
2011.
1982.
So holding it down for
This-
10 years, man. It's no one better for
Wow.
my brother. And um
Oh.
just wanted to say that. And of course, Lanky Lang, my homie, who calls me Uncle Ante.
It's
And
just so funny.
He's
just
So
hilarious.
cute.
truly something that I will never forget. Carina, what was your highlight from Saturday? Like, it doesn't have to be like anything like crazy, like that was the best thing that happened, but like something funny or something that like kind of. Oh, I don't even think Neicy knows this, so we could tell Neicy.
He said, "Let me just tell you."
You know what? I just.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
asked her a
say-
question.
say-
You asked her a
I
question,
didn't mean it.
and then like
Well, I thought about
you asked her a
something.
question, and then
She
you just
probably.
like, oh,
Okay, go ahead,
you're like,
go ahead,
oh
go
wait,
ahead.
babe, I got something real quick. I got
Go
something for you,
ahead,
Neicy.
tell me.
I'm definitely not
Tell me
taking.
my favorite
I'm not
part.
taking Dane's advice right now. I definitely everything he just said about the comforters. I just
He
ripped it.
literally just
I
took
ripped the
advice.
entire comforter.
I'm the captain now. Go ahead.
I appreciate
Okay,
you, Deonte, for your noble sacrifice because you're making me look like a model husband, and
know.
normally I'm not. I'm
Dang
the
it.
opposite. I'm a horrible
I'm
communicator,
sorry.
and you're making me look like a rock star.
Lord.
So keep going,
Okay.
Deonte. Keep messing it up, making me look good.
The
With your bad self.
on Saturday we're getting ready. We watching the game. We getting ready also. By the way, for the Baylor people in here, Baylor did beat Oklahoma. Second, beat Oklahoma. Second. While that was happening on your end, you and your girls were having a
crisis.
A crisis. Yeah, let's
A crisis.
bring the people in on what happened.
Okay, let me just start from the top.
Boom.
You guys were having so much fun. Little did you know there was a medical crisis happening in my room.
Oh, so that was legit.
So, oh, did you not see the ambulance?
No, someone referenced, I'm a paramedic. I'm like, so that was legit. Oh my goodness. So I thought that was just like a metaphor that old girl was talking about.
Okay, what?
A physical ambulance.
Damn.
So, I planned, I'm a planner, I'm a fixer, I'm an Olivia Pope, some would say. I had contingency plans for everything. If you've been planning something for 2.5 years, you're going to plan for anything that could possibly go wrong. I planned for a tornado. I planned for rain. I planned for literally everything on earth. But what I did not plan for was a medical emergency while I was getting ready an hour before the wedding. So I invited a hairstylist to come do my hair for the wedding. It was just going to be my sister, myself, and my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And she got there, my sister's great. And then during my hair, she was kind of taking a long time. And I was like, well, we're not really in that big of a rush. We're already here. It wasn't like we needed to travel to a different location. So she's kind of going slow. And I'm like, okay, we got to speed it up. We're getting closer. Like, you guys had already taken all of your pictures. I knew because I could see you. And I could see through the window. And I'm like, okay, they're done. It's now time for the girls to take pictures. Because Deonte's one wish in this wedding was to not do a first look. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's when you get to see each other prior to the ceremony. You kind of get the nerves out. You can get the tears out. And you can take, but the benefit is that you can take pictures together prior to the wedding. So something that I did not think about is when we planned this wedding, that it was going to be a completely different time of year than what we had originally planned. So we had scheduled out things in an order of having enough time before sunset. But because it's fall, daylight savings just happened. The sun goes down so fast. And if the sun's down, I mean, the pictures are, you've lost your opportunity. So I asked Deonte, I said, do we want to do a first look? And he said no. And I was like, okay, but just know once the ceremony's done, we have to sprint because there's a lot of pictures we need to take and we got to go fast because otherwise the sun is going to be completely down. So with that in mind, I was going to allot enough time for myself and my bridal party and my family to take pictures without Deonte, but to get some stuff done prior to the ceremony ending so that when we came together and he finally saw me, that we could just knock out all the family pictures and the big group pictures, but then we could come back and enjoy cocktail hour.
Okay.
So that was my plan. Well, this girl is like doing my hair and she's great. I've met her a couple times. Like, it's wonderful, but she's like taking a while and she's like starting to really slow down. And I'm like, we've got to keep moving. And my wedding planner comes in and she's like, girls, got to keep moving. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go sit with the makeup artist and you'll do my hair while I'm getting my makeup done. I'll stay very still, which was not true. I was writing my vows. I'm so sorry to tell you that. I was writing my vows. And I'm trying really hard. And the girl, I'm trying to focus. I have ADHD. It's very difficult for me to focus. I finally get to a point where I can focus. I sit down on the makeup chair and the girl never comes out of the room, the hair girl. And my sister goes in there and she's like slumped over. She had she is a diabetic or something along those lines, and she crashed. Like, she just had been standing, she'd been on her feet, she had eaten earlier, but I could tell something wasn't right, and I'm glad that I had met her before because I knew like a good baseline. But she was like slow motion. I mean, like, it had been probably about an hour and a half and my hair was halfway done. It would have taken me 25 minutes. Give me some hairspray, curling iron, done. And she was just not well. So they, are helping her. Luckily, we've got a lot of healthcare heroes. Shout out to our healthcare heroes. Half of our wedding party are some kind of healthcare hero. We've got nurses, we've got doctors, we've got paramedics, we've got firefighter. We've got literally the whole range of healthcare heroes. They come in, they're like, we don't know what's going on. We don't know really how to help her. It's literally like 1 hour to the wedding. At this point, I'm like, I've given up. I hope she's okay. Let's help her, forget the pictures, whatever. So yeah, that's what was happening in our room while you guys were playing video games and watching TV.
We never hooked up the game. We're just watching.
Darn.
You should just let her finish the point.
We were dealing with a medical emergency, so we didn't get to take any pictures beforehand. We didn't get to do anything. I literally was so frazzled. The vows, they came from the heart, but they shot out real quick. I hope they were good.
I do remember Ariana Daniels' fiance saying that when they called 911, they specifically said to have the sirens off, please, so nobody would freak out during this.
Well, shout out to Ariana. Let's just time out real quick. Ariana, the love of my life.
Daniel listens to this pod too,
hey Daniel, get Ariana on the line here. The love of my life. She saved me this whole day. Like, if I needed something, she just popped up. Clutch. And she was like, what can I do? I got it. I'm going to do it. And I just love her very much. But as this girl starts to collapse, Ariana just jumps into gear. Ariana becomes a healthcare hero. She is like running interference, acquiring different doctors, medical professionals, and at the same time, like, do you need anything? I'm like, are you? Yes. Oh my God, I need you to stay here forever and be my new wife. Sorry, Deonte. It was just incredible. And like, we kind of got the situation handled, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, how do I calm down from this? Like, how do I, chill out? And finally, like, we got out there, and then the chaos just culminated in my parents walking me down the aisle, and I could not stop laughing. So we just got the pictures back. I'm laughing hysterically in these pictures. And it's because, when you just have too many emotions, they just come out in weird ways. And mine is laughter. And I am laughing my head off because my dress and my veil, I thought I had time to get ready over, a period of time. I was going to take my time. No, I had to throw everything on at the last second. And my dress and my veil, I'd never put them on at the same time together. Just really risked it. I was like, we'll just see if it works. it started collecting all of the leaves while I was walking. So there were about 500 leaves under my dress. I was laughing so hard, and it was just absolute chaos. I mean, I wouldn't have expected anything different, but I really wasn't prepared for that. I'm so glad you guys had fun, though.
We had our struggles every now and then. Like when we thought we needed to get ready by 2:30 when it was actually 1:30.
Let me stop right there, Deonte.
But
Nothing
I'm
comparable.
joking.
Nothing comparable to what you all went through.
The hairdresser is okay now.
She's
correct?
great. She's fine.
She came to pick up the car the next day.
She came back.
She like embarrassed.
She was very embarrassed.
She was really embarrassed. I'm like, do not be embarrassed. Like truly, like it really, nothing. Like at least if it was gonna happen, it happened when it did, so that I had enough time to get ready. Because otherwise, we would have been taking photos in the pitch black darkness of wherever we were, the middle of nowhere. But it really all worked out fine, and I think like that is a testament to how we are. Like I'm a control freak, but we really can roll with the punches. Which I mean, clearly this wedding was supposed to happen 2.5 years ago, so you know that was fine. It was just a chaotic day, to say the least. I mean, everything was madness, but it's like good. I thrive in chaos, so it was great for me.
Yeah,
organized chaos. But I think
chaos. Finally being able to stand at the front with you and our friends, like that was literally the first time that I think I had taken a deep breath the entire day.
Because you were finally up there, right?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm already here. I mean, what else could go wrong? So that's kind of what I would look back on that moment and think like I was just really happy. I was overwhelmed, but I was very happy to just be standing still.
That was I remember during that time, I just remember like people move on our side. Taylor came through and Fian, both our doctor friends, coming through and just was like they kind of brushed it off. I didn't know if they wanted me not to know, but it was just like, yeah, there's something going on. That's all I knew until you told me later on what had happened. And so that, I mean, as you're preparing for this day, I can only imagine the emotions what you were going through, and you summarized that pretty well.
Yeah, I was just like, am I gonna have time? It was really the pictures are the important part for me. Like that was the one thing I really was excited about. So it perfectly worked out. We actually had more time to take more pictures, but we didn't even need the time because she was so quick. Shout out Carmen, my girl. But it just, when you don't plan for something, I don't plan for a lot of things, but I definitely didn't plan for that, So it was great. It was wonderful. I think after that, everything was smooth sailing. I don't think anything went wrong after that. What?
No, I'm thinking.
I was like, damn, Deonte, you came by blue.
I was thriving. I was vibing.
Pretty fun down. One thing I told Carina, Dane, and Neicy that y'all don't. I just told her this yesterday, but there was something I wanted. I had planned to do, but never got around to it. Was do like a choreographed dance like they do in all those other weddings with the groomsmen and stuff. You would have been down, right?
No.
Dane wouldn't dance.
Here's the thing. Can I tell myself real quick?
Go ahead. Feel free.
I enjoy dancing in the comfort of my home. Okay. Like by myself. I was
waiting. I was like,
I got you.
Okay, I mean, thank you. I didn't know if he was gonna tell the truth. Yeah. So I was like,
in the comfort of my home. In the comfort of my home.
Makes sense.
Okay. On top of that, I was like, man, as you're driving, I'm like, I really hope Deonte doesn't have us doing anything weird, like doing some stage
like choreographed dance,
like some choreographed dance. I was like, man, as I'm pulling, I was like, he better not. And I was like, he wouldn't do that.
I said, no, he couldn't do that because you would have had time to practice.
No, yeah, I would have. I wouldn't have. You're right, Neicy. I wouldn't have just put him on the spot like that.
Kind of like when you wrote your own vows and you told me you weren't.
Well, that was different.
See, that was different.
See,
okay.
So
you kind of left the hang like that, man. That's cool.
One of Karina's bridesmaids, Savannah, is a former Baylor cheerleader, and she worked at the.
She's a dancing queen,
basically, and so I was working with her behind the scenes to.
I'm shocked that my best friend betrayed me
get
like that.
like a choreographed dance mix
What
of
is this?
songs
A spinoff of Bring It On?
Dane, let me just tell you, and Neicy.
Wait, she just knocked me off the mic.
All right. It's a character flaw. I don't know what it is, but when people like, I don't care if I'm married to John Legend. Mm-hmm. If you're like, hey,
she's embarrassed by lovely voices singing to her,
by people performing for me. Like if someone is like, I'm gonna sing to you, like I get embarrassed when like a mariachi comes up to the table at a Mexican restaurant. Like I can't handle it. Like,
birthday
I don't know
songs,
what it
no
is.
go.
But if Deonte, like, he likes to play his like SoundCloud rapping from college, I can't stand it.
You remember the Juice tape?
No, please don't, please. He's like, let me freestyle for you, and he looks me in the eyes and starts freestyling. I cannot handle that. But it's not because it's him. If
secondhand
embarrassment does that to me, it's crippling. I can't handle it. Like if he was,
I hate it.
If he's John Mayer, if he is anyone that I love singing to me, I feel uncomfortable. I don't know why. No. I just hate it. So like dancing,
I'm the same freaking.
I'm the same way because I do that.
Same way.
I break out in song all the time.
It embarrasses. She can sing.
And it's funny because I sing at him all of the time, but it's like the seriousness. If you're serious, I can't do it. And it's like one of those things where I just like won't make eye contact. Like I can't handle it. So I'm just really glad that you didn't do that, and I'm really offended that my best friend set me up like this.
Leading up to the wedding, everybody was asking, "Are you gonna do like a performance?" I was like, "Yeah,
gassing you up.
Plan it out now."
Lord have mercy.
This was the mix we would have been performing to. We're gonna make a wedding mix of songs. I have it in my phone. It was this was before that nice Silk Sonic album dropped.
This note is titled "Performance for Carina," as if I want this to happen. And he knows I don't want this to happen. That is mean.
It's called
my man,
the first.
You got a title for this? My man, you got a title for this?
In my notes. You know how we write notes for everything?
16-point title.
Deonte.
So it's going to be like a wedding mix. You know how you make a mix with all the songs?
Deonte.
So it's going to be like
why do you have to be such a nerd with this type of stuff, man?
It's unbelievable. I pride myself in being a very
We
cool
play the
girl.
nerds
cool
thing from Keith. Nerd, that's me, man. No, I'm not going to do it yet.
This man had a title.
All right, so here we go. Here we go.
Some girls would love this. I'll just say, if you're one of those girls, good for you. If you're me, please stop.
The people that listen to this are going to be like, Deonte, why the hell did you not do this?
Oh, my God. No.
All right, we're going to come out to some dance, choreographed dance to Bruno Mars. That's what I like.
But what if we messed up? Like, that's my whole thing was the first thing.
That I would have loved.
No.
Dane?
Like, selfishly.
When things go wrong, my sense of humor, my brand of humor is things going wrong.
Yeah, she hates when...
Like, you know that video Scarlett takes a tumble when she falls off the table?
Yes.
That is my sense of humor.
Epic.
When things go horribly wrong. She was so serious. Yeah. And it just didn't work out for her. That I would have enjoyed.
So here was the plan. We would have had weeks to prepare.
There was an idea.
Yes. From our man, Nick Fury, there was an idea that Deonte and his 9 groomsmen, give me the music, Dane. Deonte and his 9 groomsmen would be performing, practicing for weeks. I don't know how we would have got everybody together to do it. I'm just thinking the perfect scenario in my head.
Y'all,
let him
get through it.
I just want to crush his dreams real quick.
Let him get
There's
through
no way you'd get Sean Moore to get down and do this dance. I'm just going across the line thinking of all. We could
barely get Sean to smile at the camera.
Yeah, like I was like,
do a choreographed routine.
He would have did. Malcolm definitely would have been.
Malcolm would have. Yeah, Malcolm would have been in the front.
Malcolm would have been leading the pack.
Yeah, he would have been in the front.
So we'd have came out to "That's What I Like" by Bruno Mars, some choreographed dance. Then we would have did. I don't know how this would work. Childish Gambino, Telegraph Ave.
Deonte just made a list of his favorite songs. These songs have nothing to do with me.
The next one was My Girl, Temptations. You're my girl.
Your favorite song.
And then You're My Everything by the Temptations.
Also your favorite song.
But it's also you.
Your favorite band.
That's
you see that poster over there, The Temptations?
You know what this is? This perfectly highlights something that I had another piece of advice that I'm sorry that I'm giving. Another thing that it highlights is you choosing, I did this a lot, unfortunately, loving Neicy in my love language instead of loving her the way that she wanted to be loved.
Come on, Pastor.
Dane, that was beautiful.
No.
You actually gave us a book. You gave us a book when we got engaged about love languages. Deonte, did you read it?
Huh?
Yep. There you go.
Deonte, you didn't read that book?
Why are you putting me on the spot?
Dang.
I'm just saying, I know mine.
So you didn't watch the DC animated universe, all 20 of those movies, and you didn't read the love that she needs and the respect that he deserves, something like I forgot the title. Love and respect,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. My bad. I read
one of the best marriage books, guys. Like, just saying.
Deonte, but it's still hope. There's still hope. There's still hope. There's still hope, Deonte.
Recommit to that right here.
But he brought up a good point though, because I told him that before.
No, yeah.
I kept doing it. And like, I kept doing it. You can't love me in your love language. But the reciprocal to that, the reciprocal to that is he was doing that to me because he was desiring it from me. Yeah. So it's twofold, It's like he's only giving me.
I'm acting out.
Yeah, he's basically but it was like a cry out for, okay, here's what I need from you, so let me show you what it is that I need from you. But for me, it was like, okay, no, that's annoying. That doesn't do anything for me. Like, that's not how I receive or perceive love. So we still have to communicate about that and have to work toward that. And it's hard. Like, it really is hard. But we all have it in us to be a little bit self-centered. But your spouse, if you don't think you self-centered, baby, they about to point it out.
Oh no, I definitely am. I definitely am.
That reminds me, like, all the times I get her, or I want to get her to play video games with me. Like, we just got a Nintendo Switch, and I'm like, babe, let's open up the Switch, because y'all know I'm a nerd for video games. And she's like,
absolutely.
Nah.
You gotta find. Look, here's another thing. You gotta find the games that she likes. Like this one right here.
Yes.
Sims.
Tetris. Tetris. Like
Sims for her.
Sims.
I love the Sims. Sims is so freaking dope. Oh my god.
Sims
but she likes to play with the cheats, and I'm like, bro, let's.
Yes, that's the best way to play. Unlimited money. You can remodel your entire house. Yes. You get all
we try to play the normal way, but
you gotta use the cheats.
I don't like being poor.
You know, I like to play games on the most difficult level.
Question: do they still got the shower on there where you can it's like a little super futuristic shower where you're spinning around, it's like hovering and showers you by itself?
Oh, they got everything on there. They got so much that it's like not even funny. Deonte did get me Sims Pets. Is it called Sims?
Mm-hmm. Or it's like a DLC where you add
them. Here's a pet.
Oh.
Can you see him? Oh, well, we're on a podcast too. Okay, you can't see him. There's a pet here. Anyway, we had to stop playing it because our dogs were afraid of the Sims pets. So they would start barking at the TV. Yeah. So we had to stop playing that. Short-lived. But it was really fun. So.
And then she likes LA Noire. You remember that game, Dane? The detective game?
Yes, the one that has like 3 discs. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know. This one, well, we got it digitally, so.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
2021, my
guy.
Yeah. I like Grand Theft Auto, but he doesn't let me play it.
I don't have Grand Theft. Well,
you don't have Grand Theft Auto 5?
I do. I think I took it off my PlayStation because I didn't play it often.
He told me I can't run people over the way that I do. I really do. I enjoy it.
You literally can do anything you want to in Grand Theft Auto.
Deonte,
shame on you for trying to
doing that. Why aren't you going to find the drugs? And it's like, I'm just running. I'm just vibing. You know, when you just like
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
Anyway, I agree with what you're saying. Deonte was trying to exert his love language on me. But if you were asking, if you wanted me to do a performance for you, you're out of luck. I would not have been doing that, but that's what Neicy's saying. You're saying, so
I'm sorry.
Well, not specifically that. Not specifically that.
Oh man, that would have been. No. I would have gave you the look like, really, dude. Were you really about to have us out here?
Well, and
looking,
the even harder part, bro. Logistically, that was just hard to pull off. Like having
thank God
practice that. Yeah,
we have too many friends. There's too many people involved. Yeah. It's chaotic. Everyone's busy.
I didn't do my garter toss.
No. Oh,
which is unfortunate about that. Like, kind of just got carried away. Oh, so there you go. I would have tossed something like
I threw my bouquet.
A bow tie.
Just thrown something. That? Take initiative.
I kind of forgot. I just forgot about it.
You're creative, Deonte.
enjoying people. But
we did have the fun surprise for the wedding party. I love a surprise. That's my love language, is giving gifts.
Yeah,
and
I did. Yeah, I told
and
about
giving surprises to people.
About the Yetis.
No, I'm talking about the announcements.
Oh, yeah, that too.
It was all a part of the surprise. Yeah. They didn't know it was gonna happen, so it was a surprise.
The announcements was really cool, and I will say, for the people that are listening, what Carina is talking about, we got
both real good.
We got the voice of the Baylor Bears, one of the voices of the Baylor Bears, Derek Smith. His wife actually helped out with the flowers at the wedding. So shout out to Veronica and Derek. But Derek, like 4 days before the wedding, Karina and I came up with this cool idea that we had kind of saw on the TikToks, but the TikTok just really introduced them, right? But we decided to add like funny little anecdotes about our bridal party.
Gosh.
The starting lineup.
And we had the starting lineup. We put the Bulls championship music behind it. And when our bridal party came out one by one for the reception, it was some little funny quote that we wrote about them for Derek to say as if it was a starting lineup. And it came out really, really funny. And I can't wait to see the video to kind of see. Derek's actually waiting for that. I think too, but
we just, everyone in the wedding party was confused as to what was happening. They were just like, "Why are we lined up? What, because they do the normal like wedding directions
on that part too.
The wedding party introductions. I usually don't like that part of a wedding because again, like when people dance, it makes me uncomfortable. So I was like, when people dance in, like my wedding party, like our wedding party, my bridesmaids in particular, are not big fans of that. Yeah, you did. I did not. I just waltzed in. But I know my girls, and I know my girls are not going to want to do that. So I was like, let's just introduce them and have them walk out. But they didn't know what they were walking out to, so that was funny to see their reactions.
Yeah,
it was a little bit of a roast. We tried to keep it nice, Yeah. But like I did throw some jabs in there.
Oh yeah,
I think
they were jabs.
Funniest one was for Karina's brother, who, well, Bo's too, my middle brother, but Karina's little brother literally dyed his hair blonde,
bleached his hair
4 days before the wedding, and he decided
Dane, he looked like Ellen DeGeneres.
He really did. It was straight blonde, like
Joey. For reference, Joey. How old is Joey? I don't know. 18, 19, I don't know. He goes to
18.
college in Colorado. He's a freshman in college, living his life, his truth in the dorm.
Big Joey's man on campus.
Doing just really bizarre things
really
for no reason. And one of those things was the week of our wedding, bleaching his hair blonde. He FaceTimes me and is like, "It's a wig, don't worry, it's a wig." And then he flips his head over and he's like, "It's not a wig." And I'm like, "What reaction did you want from
Karina's
me,
like, and I'm like,
ooh.
Like why did
we're just like, it's dead silence. My sister's laughing. I'm like, I'm going to murder you.
The week before the wedding is nitty gritty. She's stressed to the high heels, and Joey sends that. I text Joey. I'm like, bro.
Like, what did he? And this is why men don't deserve rights. Okay, do you hear me? Men do not deserve rights. Specifically, Joey. I literally looked at him, and I just thought, I know how people murder now. That show Snapped? It all makes sense. It all makes sense why people end up on the show. His life flashed before my eyes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And
he was like, what did he say? Like, no,
he went from being like, haha, to seeing my reaction and hearing Deonte just like, because Deonte's his hype man. If it was okay, Deonte would have been like, "What up, man?" But Deonte and I were just,
I see you.
Joey just heard silence. And at that moment, I saw him just fear, just absolute fear. And he was like, "I'm going to dye it back. I'm going to dye it back." And I was like, "Joey, I can't. Like, why?" Words could not be formed. He literally looked like Ellen. I mean, there was no other way to put it. He's naturally got light blonde hair, but at this point it's been pretty dark. But he was bleach blonde.
Yeah.
I mean, but then, I don't have a picture because I literally could never see that again. It was like so botched though, because it's like an I don't even know how old he is. 18-year-old boy bleaching his hair. That's not going to be good. It's never going to be good. So then like it started turning orange. So he looked like SpongeBob. it was just so bad. I literally sent a list of like hair salons in his area to fix it because I'm like, I did not just wait 2.5 years and spend all of this money for my pictures to be starring Ellen DeGeneres. He was like, I'm gonna fix it, I swear. I'm like, but why do it? Why do it? If you're gonna have to fix it, why do it? You could have done it Saturday night for all I care.
I got an answer for you.
Anyway.
I got an answer for you. So
go ahead.
There is a very reasonable explanation as to why this young man decided to do what he did. The simple explanation is he is a man and we do dumb shit.
And a girl told him to do it.
A girl did it for him, right?
A girl did it. And I said, show yourself.
Your mom yelled at
I heard
the
her
girl.
giggling and I said, show yourself. And she did not want to come to the camera. Joey said, it was my idea. I said, Joey, this was not your idea.
Wow.
This has college girl all over it.
Let me impress
you look so cute with these highlights. Wow.
Anyway,
wow.
It wasn't blind.
Anyway, his introduction was, I don't remember.
I think we put only got brave enough to dye his hair blonde before his sister's wedding 4 days. Or he's so brave or something like that.
Yeah, he's
so
so
bold
brave
or something.
That he bleached his hair blonde and then tried to fix it himself. Yeah. It wasn't great. I mean, it was better. It was better. But it was not great. So yeah.
Yeah. He survived.
He did. I would have never known. Never known. Other than the few jabs he got about it.
Any girl that looked at him would have known.
Yeah.
Every girl.
He also got turned Saturday night. Friday night.
Can't be tamed.
I love Joey.
Cannot be tamed.
He's like me because we both like are like the youngest in our families, but
both the youngest by like a decade.
Yeah, like because my two older brothers are 13 and 14 when I was born. He's kind of similar to that.
It's like a lawless, like a life stage where like Deonte was a good kid and Joey's a good kid, but like my parents have just given up. They're just like, go for it, Joey. Live your dreams.
Yeah.
And then we were afraid of our parents because we're like, oh no, if we mess up, they're gonna, take everything away. Joey just goes for it, and he's never been wronged. I mean, until I almost ripped his head off, but he's just like, okay, YOLO.
Joey, man, we're gonna wrap up here, man.
Overall, a great day.
How do you feel about any closing thoughts? We brought you guys on the pod, Carina, your second time. How do you feel about being on the podcast again, and what's your overall experience based on this time compared to last time you were on? Like, last time you were on, you were still kind of upset with me later after,
I had to hold it down for the girls, Neicy. I don't know if you heard it, but I had to come on swinging because they had a whole podcast called Marriage Math, and they literally mentioned us 0 times.
I
think Dane mentioned Neicy. Dane mentioned Neicy.
It was all Deonte's fault.
Wrong.
I definitely got that messed up.
So this is us. This is us making up for that. Y'all are on now.
Mainly Deonte.
You guys can have a spinoff.
Well, no. Then he let me on the podcast again, but then I wouldn't stop talking about Twilight, so he told me I couldn't come back.
Hey, I freaking love Twilight.
I don't not like Twilight.
I love Twilight.
They always watch.
Name one Twilight movie right now.
Breaking Dawn.
Shh.
I was giving him a hand.
I knew that.
I couldn't help myself.
But I think it was. Dane and Neicy watch Twilight all the time.
I think it was your pops that mentioned, or maybe it was Pastor that mentioned Twilight. Yeah, maybe it was Pastor. I can't remember. Was it Pastor that mentioned Twilight?
My best friend mentioned Twilight.
Alex.
Still in our Twilight phase. Yeah. Alex.
Yeah, and I was like, Team Jacob. Because I'm Team Jacob.
But Deonte doesn't. He never wants to watch Twilight. He never wants to watch Shrek.
Bro,
we just got married. You're throwing shade here.
Here's the thing. This is a cry for help, Deonte. This is a cry for help, and just indulge it. Like
we're gonna watch Twilight after this recording.
I made Neicy watch. What was it? I made you watch Lord of the Rings. Was it Lord of the Rings?
You made me watch a lot of things.
Oh, okay.
What did I make you watch the other day? Yesterday. Like 3 times.
3 times.
The Spider-Man trailer. And I said we could keep watching it, but it's not going to make more sense to me. Like I've maxed out my knowledge of Marvel. Like You can keep showing it to me, but it's not going to do anything.
I said, "Ooh, look at that! You see it?
You see it?
I'm like, you gotta squint. What? You gotta squint to see it, though.
He said, "Did you see that? Look, his head moved. His head moved." I'm like, "What?"
I said, "It's got to be more than one Spider-Man right there. They just ain't showing it." Anyway, to our fans, we'll get back to the sports in the next episode.
Y'all a mess.
We are never gonna be welcome back here again.
I think we did great.
I think y'all did amazing.
Great, yes. Let me give out my thanks.
Oh, I got a question though. I got a question. Ladies, wives, duos, y'all are duos. What can we do better?
Oh,
what? There's feedback that you provided.
She did that Eddie Murphy.
Two-part questions. What can we do better to be better podcasters, and what can we do better in just general advice to all husbands out there or soon-to-be husbands? What can we do better to?
Yeah, we'll close.
Oh, so it's really not about y'all.
Perfect question.
Yeah, I'm taking the heat off of us. Well, actually, no. First part is about us. How can we be better podcasters?
I feel like you're welcoming a roast. Like you're.
He said.
Boom. Hey, look. Any feedback is good feedback. Let's get it.
We do say that. Yes.
I mean, I don't really have any critiques about the podcast, to be honest.
Oh, you don't?
Mm-mm. But I don't listen to all of the episodes.
Yeah, I don't listen at all. But
Karina hasn't listened since episode 11.
I only listen to the podcast when she was on.
That's so funny. I probably won't listen to this because I don't want to hear myself talk.
Yeah, I will listen for us, and I will say that you guys need to talk about things that like I understand, because that's why I don't listen. Like you're not. I know I'm not your
sports and stuff.
I know, but there's a lot of stuff you could talk about that I know.
Okay.
Like rom-coms?
Maybe just like Twilight, Shrek, true crime.
Did you listen to the Serial podcast, Karina, by chance?
This is Karina's.
Did.
What?
Yes, I've listened to every crime podcast that's even out there.
We could talk about Serial.
Anything. I'm telling you.
So is this your? I think this is low-key Karina's pitch to come on the pod like every month and talk about something. How about that?
Yes. I accept.
I'm down with it. Let's yeah.
I think the stuff needs to be more stuff that I like.
Like that you like.
Yeah, that I like.
You hear that? She likes.
I'm a woman of people. Other people like it too.
It's the duo sports and stuff. So we
don't really clarify the stuff. Or it could be more.
It's vague for a reason,
That's my feedback. You wanted my feedback.
Really
you wanted my feedback.
Okay. Fair point.
In terms of marriage feedback, I would say maybe like stop being so nice because it makes me look not nice. You know?
I'm doing great.
You know what I mean?
This dude with this Kool-Aid smell. I'm doing great.
My friends are always like, "You're so mean to him." I'm like, "Am I though? I think I'm pretty baseline, but he's just so nice. Like, how do I compete?"
Y'all see, I get the compliments with 62 minutes into the pod. I love it.
Hey, all that matters, you got one, brother.
I got it.
Take it to the bank.
I'll compliment you all day long, but I'm also gonna like his head gets a little inflated. You know what I mean? Like he's just a little. Like people were boosting him at that.
That's that athlete in him, man. He's used to people stroking his ego.
They were boosting me?
Everybody was boosting me.
What did you hear?
And every time he'd cry,
I would request collaboration.
Like, Aww. And then I cry, they're like, "Why's she crying?"
You know what though? I think that is the default response to any man crying because it's like that willingness to show emotion. So I think everybody just kind of gets all mushy gushy about men
Real
crying.
mush.
I definitely do. I mean, I don't care who the man is. If I see him crying, I'm crying. It could be on TV or somebody on the street, and I'm like, I had a patient crying in the office today, and I was like, oh my god, I'm like tearing up right now.
Yeah.
So no, I get it. Oh, but marriage. I mean, I hate to be all like super churchy, but
do it.
Just love your wife like Christ loved the church, and that's just really being unconditional, that unconditional love, which I mean, ultimately we're not perfect people, so it's gonna be conditional in some way, shape, or form. But the goal should be unconditional love. And Men, I know it's hard, especially like being married to a black man. They deal with so much in their minds that we probably can't even fathom some of the thoughts that they have. And so I know personally I've had to learn to be a little bit more sensitive to what it is that he may be thinking but not sharing. And so not forcing your significant other or forcing your husbands, wives, not forcing your husbands to communicate when they're not ready, but also husbands making sure that you are communicating, even if it's not a lot, communicating in general. Because we can't read y'all's minds. So and I think, as long as your wife is creating a safe space for you to communicate. That's probably the best advice I have.
That was really good.
That was good.
You spoke right to our souls.
It's like a perfect picture right now.
It really is. It really is.
That was lovely.
That was great. Ladies, thank you once again for joining. Now I got that late night talk voice.
You really do.
Now, if you just turn your radios to 97.5.
And this is Deonte.
Make sure you close the window.
Make sure.
Close the window.
Seriously,
eat the chocolates.
We love you both. Thank you so much for joining us on episode 66 of the Duo Sports and Stuff podcast.
Thanks,
and
darling.
You can listen to this episode on Apple. Where else?
Spotify.
Where else?
YouTube.
Yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, look, Neicy didn't know. Look at her face. She didn't know.
No idea.
We're on YouTube, Neicy. We're on YouTube.
No, I know y'all are. I think I just forgot.
Okay. Yeah. Karina did not forget. She's like
Stitcher.
She's like, no, yeah, Stitcher too.
Oh.
But what'd you say when I said this is also a video? No, I gotta go.
Oh yeah. No.
She didn't want to be on video. Anyway, episode 66 of the Duo Sports and Stuff podcast, and we are out. Not a trio, but a
whatever's not.
What's
a
the
trio,
four?
but the next
Somebody
one.
let us know what the four is after trio.
It's
We out.
It's late, okay?
I didn't expect you of all people to know this.